Okay, let's start with nullable types in Kotlin. Okay, so what is that? To understand this one, let's say we have a variable name, okay, and it is a type of string, and you want to set anything. Let's say your name, okay, your name, anything it can be. We can set any string variable to this one, okay. But let's say we want to set null, that means nothing, then you cannot set. See, null cannot be a value of non-nullable type string. That means you cannot set a null variable to a non-nullable type of variable. This is called non-nullable type of variable, and that's why we are not able to set null, okay. This can be different variable also. For example, let's say we have a age variable, and age is an integer, correct, and we can set anything, let's say 10, 20, 30, but you cannot set null, it will show error, okay. But in other language, let's say in Java, you can set null directly in a string, okay, there is no any issue. But in Kotlin you cannot do that. To do that, you have to use an operator, that is this question mark operator. See, if we write this question mark, then see, there is no any error, okay. That means without this question mark, this is called non-nullable type, okay. And if we set the question mark, then it is called nullable type. See, here also I have mentioned in Kotlin you cannot set null to a variable by default. By default, see, by default means here by default we cannot set. If you want to set, then you have to use this question mark, okay. To allow, we must add this question mark, okay. This is called nullable types. If we want to set question, if we use this question mark, then this variable will become nullable type variable, and we can set null, okay. There will be no any issue. This is the first thing. Okay, and yes, you can do like this also. See, this is a variable, correct. So here we have set null, but later you can change it because it is val type of variable, that means mutable. So you can set any other thing also. Let's say this is abc, okay. So here we are setting null, but later we are setting abc, okay. So this one we can do. Then the next thing is problem with nullable type. So there are some problems with this nullable type. See, in this variable we have some problem also. For example, let's say we want to print the length of the variable name dot length. Name is a string, correct. So in string we have this function, okay. This is this variable, okay. This variable, actually internal variable. Using this one directly we can print the length of the variable. For example, let's say we have abc, then what is the length of this variable? 3, correct. So it will print 3. See, we are not using the question mark, okay, till now. See, it is printing 3, okay. But let's say you make it nullable, okay, because you thought that later in some part of our program we may be able to we may require it to set as null. So that's why you thought to use this one, but you cannot call the function. See, it is showing some error. Only safe or non-null asserted calls are allowed on a nullable receiver of type string. If you want to run this, then you will also get the same issue, okay. You will be not able to compile itself, okay. So this is the thing. This is called what? Problem with nullable types. That means we cannot call a function. See, we cannot call a function or a variable from a nullable type, okay. But if you want to call, then you have to use this question mark. See, here also you have to use the question mark. Now see, there will be no any issue, you will be able to execute it. See, we are safely able to execute it, okay. But why we are able to execute it? See, let's say in some another part of program you make it null, okay. Somewhere you made it null, okay. After that, oh sorry, we need to remove this val, okay. After that you are just printing. Now what will happen? See, this we are storing null, correct. That means nothing is there. So what it will print? Let me check. See, it is printing simply null, okay. But in other programming language, for example, you are using Java, that time if you call a variable or a function from a null variable, then your app will crash itself. Let's say you are making Android app. So in Android app, somewhere, let's say by default, somewhere by some user action, the variable becomes null, okay, and you call that variable directly like this, okay. In Java we don't have this question mark operator, so you have to call it like this, okay. So this is null. Now what will happen in compile time? There will be no any error. Okay, so when you run the app, that time it will crash. But in case of Kotlin, in compile time itself it will show error. Okay, you will not able to make the app itself, you will not able to compile the code itself, it will show error like this. Okay, so this is the good thing about Kotlin. Okay, this is called null safety. This is called null safety. Okay, here I have given, see, use safe call. This is called safe call operator. Okay, this operator is called safe call operator. What is the operator? See, we need to use question mark then dot. Okay, this question mark then dot operator, this is called safe call operator. That means there will be no any crash. Okay, if this variable is also null, then also there is no any crash, it will simply print null. In this line it will print null. Okay, there will be no any issue. So for example, if we have this line here, okay, let's say val v equal to, we are setting the length, let's say this is L. Okay, L, we are setting L, this length to this variable. Okay, and later we have some other statement, let's say hello, then also there will be no any error. Here this L value will be assigned with null only. Okay, there will be no any issue. Okay, but in Java it will crash simply, because we are calling null, we are calling this length variable from a null object. Okay, so this is called safe call, because here we are not getting any crash. The next thing is as operator. As operator means unsafe cast operator. Okay, what is unsafe cast operator? For that, let me give you some example. Okay, so for example, let me take one variable val name. Okay, same variable name I am just taking, name of type any. Okay, any means you can store anything. In Kotlin we have this any. Okay, any is like a parent class of everything. Okay, so here we are making this reference variable of any type. That means you can store anything. It can be string, it can be integer, it can be double. Okay, so anything you can store, any. For now let me store something like this string. Okay, we are storing this QWERTY. Okay, name. Now let's say you want to print it, so we'll print the name. So it will print the QWERTY. Okay, there is no any issue. Now let's say you want to get the length of this string. Okay, this is a string, correct? This string we are storing in any reference variable. So now we want to get the length of the variable. So I will be taking the length in L variable. Okay, so I will use name. Okay, but in string we have length, one variable that is called length, correct? length. Okay, in string, let's say it was a type of string, then that time, see, we can directly call this length variable. Okay, so if we call this, then this length, this L will become 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it will here 6 will be stored, because the length of the string is 6, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if it was a string, but here it is a any type of variable, correct? So in any type of variable, any means a parent type. Okay, so all the classes are extending any. Okay, this is the parent class of all class. So we can store a string also in here, but you cannot call the function directly, because this length function is inside the string class, it is not inside the parent class. Okay, let's say I will be explaining like this. Let's say we have the any class. Okay, here there will be some functions. Okay, and we have a class that is called string. Okay, and it is extending the any class. Okay, so here in the string class we have the variable length. Okay, var length. Okay, we have the variable L length. Okay, now using object of string class only we can call this variable. Okay, because the variable must be inside the class. Okay, to call. See here, this is the object of string. If it is a string, here see, if it is a string, then this is the object. Okay, here we are storing the object, correct? So using that object only we will be able to call the length, correct? But if we take it is a any, then see here the reference variable is not, it is not of type string, it is type of any. So this inside this any there is no any length property. Okay, so it is showing error. Okay, so if you want to call this length, then what we need to do, see, we need to typecast the thing. That means val, here I have written already. So yes, let me take the variable name as str. Okay, str, and it will be of type string. First of all, it will be of type string. And how we will get it, see, name as operator we will use as. Okay, it is called typecasting, you already know, I think, as string. Okay, we will write it like this. We can omit this one also, not required. Now here in the string, actually in the string this variable will be stored. Okay, and now using this string we can call. See, there is no any error now. Okay, so if you want to print the L, you can print also. So here it is called typecasting. Okay, I think something we have done wrong here. Here we have to write string. One second. Okay, one second. So yes, so here actually we are using this wrong class, correct? This is our class only. So this is like for explanation only I am creating, that's why it is showing error. Okay, so first of all I remove it. Okay, so now see, here we are storing in the variable of any type, we are storing this string. Now here we are typecasting this variable as a string, because this was a string and we want to call the length operator, so we are typecasting it, and after that we will be getting the result. So here 6 will be printed. Okay, so 6 is getting printed. See why 6 is getting printed, because the length is 6. Now let's say this was a variable, correct? So let's say in your code somewhere you have put here name equal to 65 or something. Okay, 6 or 65 somehow by default. Okay, in you have lot of code, correct? In your real application you will have lot of code. So by default somehow by some user input you got 65 instead of string. Now if you typecast it, then it will crash. See, in compile time there will be no any error. Okay, but here see, after you run the program, then you will get the crash. See, class cast exception, because we are casting wrong cast. See, a wrong class. See, this is a integer, correct, and we are casting it to string, that's why it will crash. This is called class cast exception. Okay, and here we are taking any means you can set anything, that's why we are able to set 65 also, but later because of this line you will be getting crash. So there is one solution for that, that is as question mark. Okay, and you have to like, see, here we are storing string, correct, but later we have set it to number. Okay, now you can see, simply typecast to as one second. See here, one second, this one also we need to remove because it is a integer, and I will yes, now see, we need to remove this one. Okay, see, now first of all it was a string. Okay, later we change it to integer, and here we are using as operator, and here this is the string, this is integer, not string, so we can change the name also. Let's say it is a value. Okay, now for the value there will be no any length property, because already here we are typecasted as integer, so it becomes integer. Now you can print the integer directly. Okay, so 65 will be printed. Okay, 65 is getting printed, there is no any issue. Okay, but let me change it to different thing. Let me change this one like this. See here, name. Okay, name we have typecasted as in string. Let's say we have casted to string. Okay, using the this variable and length. Okay, like this we have done. Let's assume. Okay, let's assume we have done here also there is no any issue. See, Okay, here we are storing string, we are just casting it to string, and we are calling the length property, so it is printing 6. But somewhere in your program, let's say instead of string you set here something like 10. Okay, now it will crash because here 10 is an integer and we are casting it as a string, so it will crash. Okay, so to prevent that crash, we will use this one. Now see what will happen. See here, if it is a 10 also, this is an integer, so here simply it will be null. Okay, so here also we have to use the question mark operator. Okay, now what will happen, see, I will show you. See, null is getting printed. Null means here this variable itself becomes null. Actually, how it becomes null? Because of this line. Why? Because see, name is a integer. Okay, and we are casting it as a string. Okay, that's why this question mark as question mark operator, it is making it as a null, because we cannot make this this is not a string, correct? So we cannot cast it to string. That's why this safe typecast operator making it null. You can print directly this one also, you will be able to see null. See, it is showing null. Okay, so that's it. This is called safe cast operator. That means safely cast. If it is a different thing also, then also it will not crash. Okay, so for example, if you copy this one, I will just show you simply. This is easy things actually. So let's say we have a function. Okay, this get string length function, and it is taking anything. Okay, it is taking anything, and here we are casting it to string, and we are returning the result, so that here we can print. Okay, so first of all, what will happen, see, if we call this with Kotlin. Okay, see, here we are sending string. Okay, there is no any issue, so it will be simply casted to string and it will return the length. Okay, there is no any issue, so let me print it. See, it is printing 6. Okay, but by mistake, let's say you passed here 100. Okay, now also it will not crash, because we are using safe cast operator here. See, it is showing null only, but it is not crash. Okay, in Android, if you get in Kotlin you get null, then it will not crash. Okay, here crash is not there, correct? It is simply running, it is simply showing null. Okay, but instead of this question mark, if you remove this question mark, then see what will happen, it will crash simply. It will show the, see, class cast exception, because this 100 we cannot cast to string. Okay, so this is called safe cast operator.